Horsepower boots are from the Anderson Bean family of brands, and the Top Hand line, made in Mexico, is almost just as equal to Anderson Bean quality. And today I have a pair of these Top Hand horsepower boots, and we're gonna be doing an extended test. So let's get into it.
I'm just here to connect ya, and then I'll be on my way.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and always like and comment down below. I'm a huge fan of what Horsepower does with their line in the Anderson Bean family of brands. What is in the Anderson Bean family of brands? Of course, there's Anderson Bean. There's also Olathe. There's also Rios of Mercedes. So some huge brand names. So Top Hand Horsepower boots has a lot to compete with. So there's two different kinds of horsepower boots. There's the regular horsepower boots, which is a little bit lower of a quality, but then they bridge the gap between that first line of horsepower boots that they released and the Anderson Bean line with their Top Hand horsepower boots. And we'll get into it here in this quick impression video, but I want to thank cartersboots.com for making this video possible and also making it possible for us to do a giveaway. That's right, somebody watching right now, within the first couple of weeks of this video being posted, has a chance to win a brand new pair of these boots in their size, but we'll get into that later. First, we got to break down the details of this boot with the rundown. Yes, this is model number HP 9500 Top Hand horsepower boots, and it features a suede leather foot and counter. It's super soft and supple, gonna be a joy to break in. And this is the camel color. It looks great and is bound to get lots of compliments. For a toe shape down here, we have Horsepower's TK toe, which is their narrow square toe, AKA cutter toe. It's a great look and very popular right now. Back here for a heel, we have a 1.5 inch stacked leather heel, which is really nice and makes it a little bit different from most of the Anderson Beans on the marketplace, which are made in the USA but feature a bonded leather heel. There are many Anderson Beans that have a stacked leather heel, but for the most part, you're gonna find bonded leather heels on a lot of Anderson Beans. So this is a nice quality feature here in a boot like this at this price point. It's coming in at 13 inches tall and features a emerald explosion top, so it's kind of a dark green and it looks really cool, especially with the stitch pattern colors that they chose. And down here for an outsole, we have a hybrid outsole, which is a combination of rubber and leather. You can see that the toe and the arch area are leather, but then right around the ball of the foot, you have a strip of rubber. And that is to make this boot last a little bit longer before you would need a resole, because this is the area where you would wear this boot down the most. You can also see lemonwood pegs and brass nails alongside that shank here. On the inside, we have a leather lining, and it's a cowhide leather lining, which is really nice, again at this price point. And for an insole, we have a removable foam insert with branded Horsepower on there, and underneath that, we have a leather-topped, non-removable, you got a little bit of foam in there, but I would imagine that's also a fiberboard footbed under that, which is the reason why you have a removable insert. But you could wear this boot without that removable insert if you wanted to. You just might need to size down a half a size. Top Hand horsepower boots are made in Mexico, and this one's coming in at the nice price of $270 at cartersboots.com. But when you use my promo code Jeremiah Craig at checkout, you save 10%, and that brings the price down to $243, which is a really nice price for a boot like this. Now let's try it on to see how it looks and feels. All right, I got on those Horsepower camel suede boots right now, and they went on a little bit tough. It seems like the instep might be just a little bit low on these. But then when I get my foot in there, this narrow square toe or cutter toe gives my toes a lot of space. So you got a lot of room in there. In fact, I'm just a little bit worried that when I break these in, that they stretch out a little bit too much. But as long as the instep stays nice and snug, I think it'll be okay, but we'll have to see how these break in. I like the look of them. I like the feel of them. I gotta say that insole feels great. You know, sometimes I like to go without a removable insole, and I'm glad that I went with the removable insole. Sometimes I'll size down and take them out. With these ones, because I feel like they probably have a fiberboard footbed underneath that slight piece of leather and foam that's underneath this removable insert, they would be more comfortable with the removable insert that I have in there. So I like it, and I like the arch support that I'm getting from this boot. Speaking of arch support, Horsepower is making B-widths, guys. So they have B-widths, D-widths, and double E-widths now. This boot comes in a B-width, so I'm wearing my true size of a 12B, and I have to say that it does fit true to size, but there is a little bit extra room in the toes. So that's fine for me because I'm able to wear thicker socks that I enjoy wearing, the Thorlos 12-hour work shift sock. I really like it, and the arch support that I'm getting is nice. It's really, really nice, guys. It's got that cushion, it's got some nice rebound. It is a little bit, it feels like it's a little bit sticky, like it's sticking to the leather footbed a little bit. I would imagine that would go away though as this insole settles, as the boot settles. We'll have to see though. It's just a very weird sensation at the moment when first trying this boot on, but I would imagine that all settles and goes away. Let me pull over the pants here so you can see what they would look like just wearing normal. I really like the color of these boots. I like the toe shape. It's a nice combination. And it looks really cool and feels great too. It's nice, supple. It's a nice supple suede, and I can imagine that these will get an incredible patina and break in really well. Here's the POV. You can see that suede texture and the cutter toe. I am so happy that this cutter toe is becoming a little bit more popular and trendy over the wide square toe with the double stitch welt. That one has been probably the most popular toe shape for a decade or more. Last year, this one started to become more popular, or the year before that, and it's just taking over, it seems like, and I'm here for it. What do you guys think? All right, now that we've gone through the rundown and tried these boots on for the first impression, we gotta see how they hold up. So let's do an extended test.
It was a cold morning to begin this extended test as I helped my buddy Josh move hay for one of his regulars, Alicia. And we were going to be moving a lot of hay, so let's keep track. This load was 25 bales. Once we had most of the first load stacked, we drove over to move the horses and feed them with the last bale of hay from the first load. Alicia's horses are named Jojo and Journey, and they were hungry. So to keep them occupied, we threw some flakes around so they could snack on, and we took a moment to hang out with these beautiful horses, then closed up their wooded pasture just as another load of hay bales arrived. 20 more to be exact, bringing our total up to 45. Alicia has 3 spots for hay on her property, and this shed is deceivingly big, so she was taking full advantage of Josh and me helping out and stocking up on this hay. The Horsepower top hand boots are here for it too. I wasn't even thinking about them while stacking the hay, which is exactly what you want. You can't be worrying about your boots while working. They just need to work. With the second load of hay bales stacked and put away, it was time to go get another load. So we drove to a nearby farm and loaded up the back of the truck. Time to count it out. That's another 25. Add them to the total and we're up to 70 bales for the day. Then it's back to Alicia's to unload, but when we got there, we had another delivery of 20 more bales. That brings up the total for 90 for the day. Phew! So we hopped to it and unloaded these 20 bales. this time stacking them in the barn at the side of the property. Once all the bales were taken care of, we headed over to the shed to unload the 25 we had just brought back. Moving this many bales of hay is a workout. Once unloaded, we closed the gate and took a quick breather before heading back to the truck to go get one last load of hay from a third local farmer. After it was all loaded up, we had another 25 bales of hay, bringing our total to 115. And we thought that it could be easily unloaded, but the day got warm and the frozen ground got muddy, so we had to haul the hay to the other side of the property ourselves using sleds. To try to be the most efficient, we loaded up the sleds with 3 bales each, but we didn't get very far before they all toppled over. So I tried a different arrangement, and again, didn't get very far before they fell over again. But we were close enough to the barn at that point, so we just carried them the rest of the way. On the next trip, I loaded up Alicia's sled, but then I tried 2 sleds with 2 bales each for myself, and I had to hype myself up the whole way.
Let's go,
You are
Alicia.
a workhorse.
Lead the way already. I'm gonna pass you.
Yeah, I'll say. Okay. Pick up the pace.
I wasn't doing that again, so a round of 1 sled with 2 bales was all I wanted to do for the rest of the trips.
One more trip. You see what I do for you guys? Like this video right now, please.
Once all the bales were in, I put out some more flakes for JoJo and Journey, and it was time for us to check our final count for the day.
115 bales. Let's go.
Congratulations.
The horsepower top hand boots definitely helped me be a top hand myself and provided comfort and support all day long.
All right, guys, so when I got home from the extended test, these boots were pretty dirty. So I just took a suede brush and brushed off the dirt a little bit so that I could play a show that same night. And Josh and I were on the same bill at Sacred Root Kava Lounge, so just kept going with these same boots because why the hell not? They were comfortable all day, so I'm gonna keep wearing them while playing a show at night too. And I'm not gonna clean these up any more than that, because I like how they're shaping up and how they're looking. Plus, the dirt on this boot kind of covers up the fact that there's a black hybrid rubber outsole. So a lot of times, companies will use tan rubber on these hybrid outsoles when it's a natural sole and a lighter color boot, but Horsepower chose not to on this one, probably for cost-saving reasons, and it's kind of sticks out like a sore thumb when these boots are new. But you know, when you're wearing them around in the mud and the dirt sort of makes that black a little bit less noticeable, and it fades into the natural leather here that's on the edge of the sole. So I like how they look a lot better when they're dirty, especially alongside the edge here. So I'm just gonna keep rocking them this way instead of cleaning them up. Although if you did want to clean up your suede boots, cartersboots.com does have a suede cleaning kit and suede renew that you can get straight from them, which I will use on these in the future, but right now I really like how these are shaping up. Let's talk about fit. I found these to fit very similar and pretty true to size when compared to other brands the same size with similar toe shapes. So a square toe like this or a little bit wider is generally going to give you a little bit more room for your toes up here. If you guys remember from the try-on, I did mention that the instep felt a little bit lower, and I did continue to feel that feeling until I wore them all day long during that extended test, and this did stretch out quite a bit, so now it's really easy to put on. Before, I was having a little bit of difficulty taking them off, so it does stretch out. So if you're thinking about what size you need and you try a size and you're like, wow, that's a little bit snug at the instep, but you have enough room at your toes, go with it because it will stretch out quite a bit up here at the instep. Speaking of fit, personally, I love the fact that horsepower top hand boots have B-widths. You know, it's so rare that you find a boot company in this price range that has B-widths, especially with this quality of boot. And it feels like every time I'm measuring folks with this Brannock device here, they're coming back as B-widths, especially the folks who are in Gen Z, so the younger folks. And that's not unordinary because as you age, your foot gets a little bit wider. As you experience more and you get a little bit more weight on you, that foot sort of flattens out, gets a little bit wider, but it's not unordinary for younger folks to have narrower feet. So this boot, I think, is great for those of you out there who are having trouble finding your right size if you have a narrow foot. And it's really a breath of fresh air from these lazy brands that can't get with it and assess the needs of the market. You know, I'm comparing it to Tecovas specifically because they have the means to do B-widths, and here's horsepower top hand boots doing B-widths. And if you want to compare horsepower top hand boots to the quality of Tecovas, I think that the horsepower top hand boots are better and at least exactly the same, and they're cheaper. Right now, the suede Tecovas boot is going for $295, and this horsepower top hand boot is going for $270. And that's even before my promo code at cartersboots.com. Just type in Jeremiah Craig at checkout, and the price of these comes down to $243, which is $50 cheaper. And that's with narrow widths and a hybrid outsole, which is going to last you longer than what a leather outsole on the Tecovas boot will last. I think it's a no-brainer. Way better deal here. The biggest difference between the two brands is the fact that the horsepower top hand boots here have a removable foam insert, right? And there's foam in the Tecovas boot as well. So, you know, it just depends on which one you want to go with. Do you want to go with a removable foam insole or a non-removable foam insole that's in Tecovas? Either way, I find that the more foam and the fiberboard footbed in here and in the Tecovas decreases how breathable the boot is. So my foot sweat a lot in here, definitely in comparison to an all-leather traditionally made boot, which breathes the best. But for the price range, this is pretty much as good as it's gonna get because a traditionally made all-leather boot is going to be more than $300 for sure. Overall, I think the horsepower top hand line is a great value for the price. I really like the design of the green and the camel color suede here. The hybrid outsole will keep this going longer. Even though it is a black color, it doesn't really match. When it's dirty, you can't even really tell. And there's 3 width sizes for this boot and many other boots in their line. So top hand, love it. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now let's talk about the giveaway, because if you're watching this video within the first couple of weeks of it being posted, you have a chance to win a brand new pair in your size. Guys have a chance to win these emerald green camel suede boots, and the ladies have a chance to win Macy Bean Waxy Commander red boots. And I did a video on those previously. They are built the same. Here's what you have to do to enter. Number 1, like this video right now so more people see it. Number 2, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And if you've already subscribed, let's skip on over to the last step. You gotta fill out the form at the link in the description. I got some questions for you, and I need your email in case you win so I can contact you. Then, on Thursday, March 21st, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will announce the winner on a Boots and Ballads live stream where I'll talk boots, play music, and I'll have other giveaway prize packs as well. It's so much fun, trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching today. Love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Horsepower top hand is a great value for the brand. Whether you're going out on the town or working on the range. Thank you so much for watching today. Why don't you check out that Macy Bean video up here? Or I got a music video down here I think you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe up here, and I will see you next time. Peace. Have a good one.